What's up, y'all? It's your boy Heaven Hollywood and back on IE Network. This is the Heaven Hollywood Report, and let's get to it. All right, we're diving into some shocking developments involving JAYZ, his powerhouse attorney Alex Spiro, and the escalating legal battle with attorney Tony Buzbee. Now, from allegations of defamation to claims of extortion, this story has got layers of intrigue, power, and reputation on the line. Let's get into it. JAYZ, whose real name is Sean Carter, has been facing intense accusations from a Jane Doe who alleges that both he and Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted her when she was 13 years old. JAYZ has vehemently denied these claims, calling them utter falsehoods, with his attorney Alex Spiro pointing out significant inconsistencies in the accuser's story. But this case isn't just about defending against one woman's claims. JAYZ's legal team has made it clear they are not backing down and are ready to fight tooth and nail to protect his name and reputation. So it just got very interesting, even more interesting. All right. JAYZ claims that Tony Buzbee, the accuser's lawyer, sent a demand letter that he interpreted as blackmail. According to JAYZ's lawsuit, this letter demanded he commit to confidential mediation within 2 weeks or risk public exposure of the allegations. The lawsuit describes this as a gun to the head tactic, accusing Buzbee of threatening financial and personal ruin if JAYZ didn't pay a significant settlement. In response, JAYZ filed an extortion lawsuit against Buzbee back in November. Now the plot thickens even further. Last Friday, JAYZ and his legal team added defamation to their extortion lawsuit. The new claims argue that Buzbee has been on a media crusade intentionally spreading false and damaging narratives about JAYZ. Court documents reveal Buzbee allegedly liked social media posts speculating about JAYZ's involvement in Combs' alleged crimes. His public statements and media appearances were, according to JAYZ's lawyers, carefully designed to make the public believe that criminal charges were imminent. This, they say, amounts to defamation, per se directly accusing JAYZ of heinous crimes without evidence. Meanwhile, the back and forth continues. Buzbee recently filed a countersuit against Roc Nation, claiming that shady operations are being used to coax his former clients into filing frivolous claims against him. Roc Nation wasted no time responding, calling these accusations baloney and a pathetic distraction. JAYZ's team reiterated their stance, saying Mr. Carter is not someone who can be intimidated. This legal war between Carter and Buzbee is far from over, and it's clear that both sides are prepared for a long fight. Now, I'm using this under fair use, copyright section 107 on the copyright disclaimer. The Roc Nation mogul, whose name is Sean Carter, vehemently denied the Jane Doe's heinous accusation, and his high-powered attorney Alex Spiro laid out a defense that highlighted inconsistencies in the woman's complaint. This is utter falsehood, Spiro said. Combs' lawyers also denied the woman's claims, saying he has never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. While Carter's team fights to dismiss the woman's case in New York, the rapper has directed his fury at Buzbee, a media-savvy national trial attorney who's positioned himself at the center of this civil litigation against Combs, claiming to represent more than 120 alleged victims. Buzbee also vowed to go after other high-profile celebrities who he claimed were involved or complicit in the alleged abuse. As Buzbee began filing a series of lawsuits against Combs in October, Carter claimed that Buzbee sent him a demand letter on November 5th that he felt was a thinly veiled blackmail attempt. In response, Carter filed an extortion lawsuit against Buzbee as a John Doe on November 17th, later confirming he was the plaintiff when he was named in the Jane Doe complaint on December 8th. Now, last Friday, Carter's lawyers added a defamation claim to the lawsuit, revealing more details about the demand letter and taking aim at Buzbee's reputation, according to court documents obtained by Rolling Stone. Viewed in the context of Buzbee's prior statements threatening to file criminal complaints against and publicly shame a long list of celebrities, the message in the extortion demands was clear: pay up or face a criminal investigation and extraordinary reputational harm. Carter's lawyers argue in court papers. Carter claims Buzbee's demand letter only gave a 2-week window to commit to a confidential mediation regarding an alleged male and female victim who claimed they had been drugged and raped as minors. It has been my experience that when someone does this to a victim once, the likelihood is that they have done the same or similar things to others, Buzbee allegedly wrote in the letter, bolding the sentence. Buzbee's clients were seeking something of substance by way of a settlement. Carter's lawyers alleged if Carter couldn't reach an agreement, Buzbee would take a different course. In short, defendants placed a gun to Carter's head. The lawsuit adds they were demanding that Mr. Carter either A, pay something of substance to stop defendants from making public the widely false allegations of sexual assault that would subject Mr. Carter to opprobrium and irreparably harm to his reputation, family, career, and livelihood, or 2, endure that financial and personal ruin. Defendants' statements and correspondence made clear the immediate and extensive threat of exposure if Mr. Carter failed to pay. Carter's attorney claims that Buzbee began defaming Carter back in October, accusing the attorney of going on a media crusade to threaten and intimidate anyone who may have come in contact with Combs. They included screenshots of Buzbee's social media activity, including him liking a post that speculated Carter was involved in Combs' alleged sexual assaults. His attorneys also zeroed in on a TMZ article from December 10th, where Buzbee indicated that his client might file a criminal complaint against Carter in New York. These were no idle comments, the lawsuit claims. Buzbee's words were carefully calculated to leave the public with one unavoidable conclusion: that Mr. Carter was facing imminent criminal prosecution for rape. This is defamation per se, because he directly and falsely accused Mr. Carter of committing the horrendous criminal act of rape. As part of the amended lawsuit, Carter referenced an NBC News interview in which the accuser spoke to the outlet about the alleged assault. However, NBC found numerous subsequent inconsistencies in her story. Buzbee replied that our client remains fiercely adamant that what she has stated is true, to the best of her memory. We will continue to vet her claims and collect corroborating data to the extent it exists. Carter's defamation claim against Buzbee is yet another escalation in the war between the pair. Last week, Buzbee filed a lawsuit against Roc Nation, accusing the company and its lawyers of using shadowy, operative, and promising paydays to illegally entice former Buzbee clients into filing frivolous claims against him. Roc Nation quickly denied those accusations, calling the lawsuit baloney and a pathetic attempt to distract and deflect attention from the case. Mr. Carter is not someone who can be intimidated, Carter's lawyers added on Friday. He filed this lawsuit to preemptively call out Buzbee for the miscreant that he is. Buzbee responded back today and said that this will get thrown out. This is frivolous. And once again, he's trying to intimidate. He keeps using words like intimidate and bully to try to, trigger the audience and trigger the readers. But I don't see, in my opinion, I don't see how this can get anything else but thrown out. There is no evidence and there's no witnesses. All right. All of the main parts of this lawsuit, the She said she watched it on the Jumbotron. There was no Jumbotron. She said she spoke to Benji Madden. Benji Madden was not there. She also said she stated Fred Durst. It's been now got photographic evidence that Fred Durst was not at a house party. He was at the same party that Diddy was at Lotus or at Twirl, one of the two. JAYZ was at a different venue than Diddy. They both went to Lotus at first, but they were not seen together, not photographed together at all. Diddy was in a private booth with J-Lo. JAYZ was off with friends, from the Rockefeller camp. Then Diddy and J-Lo went to Twirl. And once again, the house that they're referring to was not bought by Diddy until 2004. Also, she had said 20 minutes to get to a house. There's no house 20 minutes either way in New York City from Radio City Music Hall. Also, the time frame in which she said this happened, remember the father, she said, picked her up right before dawn. That's around, between 5 and 6. And she so-called went to a gas station and then waited for her father to come, which is a 5-hour drive. So the time frame in which this had to happen would have been about 37 minutes, is what Alex Spiro explained. But during those 37 minutes of it happening, there was photographs of Mr. Combs and Mr. Carter other places and other venues and nowhere near a house. So it's going to be very interesting this week or next week, whenever the judge decides to make a move. I can't see it going any other way except just getting thrown out. This lawsuit is frivolous. There is no evidence, there is no proof, and there's no witnesses. And the main damaging part is that the father, who so-called picked her up from New York, drove all the way from Rochester, he says he doesn't remember that, and if that would have happened, he feels as though he would remember something like that. So we're going to see, man. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. JAYZ has now added defamation to the lawsuit. I can't see Tony Buzbee getting out of this one. Let me know down in the comments what you think. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IE Network.